Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cardboard Herald's Cardboard Academy, Season 2 of the recurring show where I give you 5 quick tips to help up your chances in your favorite games. And today we're taking a look at the horror icon that is Horrified. And my first tip for you is that item management is the key to victory and defense in this game overall. So thinking about how you are utilizing and allocating items is crucial. Knowing what items are going to be necessary for the specific combination of monsters that you are going to be facing against, making decisions and prioritizing specific colors or specific numbers based off of what you're going to need, and to know when not to pick up items to let multiple stack up in an area so you can collect them all in one fell swoop is definitely going to improve your chances. Second tip is to not assume you gotta protect yourself, because yeah, you can prevent yourself from dying from a hit from a monster by discarding an item, but that is optional, and sometimes it is far more preferable to just take the hit, let terror increase a little, go to the hospital, and suffer no other real consequences, especially when that's a high value red item, or it's one of the specific numbered items for the Wolfman, or it's one of the specific location items that's necessary for the Invisible Man. Just think about, in this situation, do I got terror to spare? Because the game doesn't necessarily get any harder, just a little bit riskier as the terror goes up. Number 3 is, when possible, concentrate on one villain at the time. Yeah, when there's a bunch of villains running around, the game is substantially harder, and it gets far easier if you can knock out one of those villains. I'm not saying to disregard good opportunities that come up. That's just playing smart. But if you can have all players trying to work in unison to work on one specific monster to get rid of them, so that way you have a lot more latitude in dealing with the others that you're fighting against. And speaking of, tip number 4 is that, yeah, the monsters have their own unique brand of terribleness that you're going to have to contend with. That's a big part of the fun of the game. But in my experience, Wolfman and the Invisible Man are the worst guys that you're going to have to deal with here. Wolfman, because he's able to attack everything on his space at once, which means there's ain't no protecting Lucy or the ichthyologist or whatever villager that you're trying to protect at the time to get those sweet, sweet, sweet perk cards that might be able to help you out. And then there's also having to deal with the Invisible Man, who ends up taking stacks of items, which, as we established in prior tips, are the key to victory. And it is a huge bummer when you have a stack of 3, 4, 5, 6 items all taken at once by the Invisible Man. So they are the priorities to deal with in my point of view. Number 5 is know when to cut a villager loose. I mean, yeah, perk cards are great. And yeah, terror is how you ultimately lose the game. But you know what's really going to make you lose the game? Wasting precious actions to take some helpless villager to the space where they need to go when they were doomed from the beginning. And they also make for a pretty handy diversion for the monsters, a nice little juicy meal on wheels that they can go after and leave you to go about your business. Again, we're going back to terror increasing isn't inherently a bad thing. It doesn't make the monsters any more powerful. So know when you can just cut a villager loose and say it's not going to be worth it. You should protect them when possible. Your guilt is going to get the better of you sometimes, but strategically speaking, And those are our tips for helping you get through Horrified and your spooktacular time with this cooperative classic. But those aren't the only tips. There are certainly some things that veterans of the game are going to recommend, so please put that in the comments below and let me know what game do you want me to cover next. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for helping, thanks for being such an amazing community. You know that I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald.